Hang on to your hat. Today we're going over a controversial topic in the raw feeding community. And if you put goat milk in your dog's bowl, by the end of this video, you might want to reconsider.
Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to this channel, and if you're on YouTube, click the alert notification.
Historically, people have enjoyed fresh, raw, and fermented milks. And goat milk is actually more common than cow milk worldwide. Let's start with the negatives. Here are some reasons goat milk might not be the right choice for your dog. First, lactose intolerance. Like humans, dogs can get digestive upset from dairy. This happens when their bodies can't tolerate the milk sugar in dairy called lactose. In order to break down lactose, your dog needs a digestive enzyme called lactase. But not all dogs produce enough of this enzyme. This means they can get sensitivities and even allergies to dairy products. Signs your dog might be lactose intolerant include diarrhea, bloating, abdominal discomfort, gas, vomiting, and loss of appetite. Next, the fat content in goat milk. Goat milk usually contains a minimum of 4% fat, which is higher than most cow milk people drink, and this fat is saturated. Too much fat in your dog's diet can put her at risk of pancreatitis. Third, higher caloric intake. Goat milk generally contains more calories than cow milk. 1 cup of goat milk has 170 calories, where 1 cup of cow milk only contains 90 calories. So if you do feed goat milk, you need to account for the extra calories in your dog's diet. And if you see your dog getting a little chunky, you'll want to cut back so you don't run into the risk of obesity. Lastly, skin and digestive problems. Dairy products can be inflammatory, and inflammation is one of the main drivers of skin and digestive problems. In fact, it's also a big factor in many chronic diseases. Milk has different properties that can cause inflammation, including protein, hormones, and sugar. The whey proteins in milk are one of the major contributors to inflammation. Both goat milk and cow milk have whey proteins, but goat milk has a higher concentration. And when it comes to sugar content, goat milk has less than cow, but only 1 gram difference per cup. So if your dog is prone to chronic skin or digestive issues, it's a good idea to skip dairy products completely. But now, let's get on to the good stuff about goat milk. Number 1, it's easy to digest. Goat milk contains proteins that make it easier to digest than other types of milk. There are 2 main types of proteins in milk. Number 1, caseins. The alpha S1 casein is a major protein in cow milk. It can cause inflammation and is one of the many proteins that can cause your dog to have an allergic response. Goat milk contains a low amounts of this protein, so it may be less likely to cause an adverse reaction. There's also serum proteins. Cow milk contains different beta-lactoglobulins and alpha-lactalbumins, or whey proteins, than goat milk. This may also be the reason for any food reactivity your dog experiences. And studies show that cow milk has more than 20 different proteins that can cause allergic reactions. But goat milk also has smaller fat globules, higher concentrations of small and medium chain fatty acids, and a looser curd formation. And together, all these things make it easier to digest for your dog. Next, the probiotics and prebiotics in goat milk. Probiotics are beneficial bacteria that improve your dog's overall health. They may come from food or supplements. The live microorganisms travel through your dog's digestive tract, and if they survive the harsh conditions, they'll colonize in the colon. Nearly 90% of your dog's immune system is in his gut, so balancing good and bad bacteria is critical to his health. But to do their job, these beneficial bacteria need food, and that's where prebiotics come in. Prebiotics are undigested fibers that help beneficial bacteria grow and thrive. According to the Raw Milk Institute, unpasteurized milk can be a source of probiotics. Goat milk also contains oligosaccharides, a common prebiotic, and it has 6 times more natural prebiotics than cow's milk. Fermenting goat milk to make foods like kefir and yogurt may also boost the prebiotic content, so you want to be sure your dog tolerates these types of foods before you feed them. Next, more calcium. Every cup of goat milk contains 330 milligrams of calcium. This is substantially higher than the 100 to 275 milligrams in a cup of cow milk. Calcium is important for your dog's neuromuscular, cardiovascular, immune, and endocrine functions. According to Dr. Ian Billinghurst, every cell in the body depends on calcium to support enzyme functions, bodily signaling, and to maintain cell membrane stability. Lastly, more nutrients. Copper and iron are trace minerals that are important to your dog's overall health. Iron helps the body function properly and provides oxygen to your dog's organs and muscles. Copper is needed to absorb iron and also stops anemia. Cow milk can interfere with how the body absorbs copper and iron, and this is not the case with goat milk. Researchers studied the copper and iron absorption rates of rats drinking goat milk. They found it was similar to those who had no milk at all. This can help reduce the risk of malabsorption. Goat milk can also improve the digestibility of magnesium and phosphorus. These are important minerals that help with bone growth as well as other functions. Now, if you've made it this far, you're probably wondering about fermented goat milk. Fermenting can be extremely beneficial for your dog. When you ferment milk, it creates products like kefir and yogurt, and many people like to use these as sources of probiotics, but this isn't entirely correct. There are probiotics in fermented foods, but they're fragile strains that can't survive the digestive tract. This means they're already dead by the time they get to your dog's colon, so they can't colonize and provide the probiotic benefits. But fermented foods are still good for your dog, just for another reason. Fermented foods are full of prebiotics that feed the beneficial bacteria in your dog's gut. They also contain postbiotics that are created during the fermentation process. Postbiotics are metabolites that deliver healthy benefits. One of the most important postbiotics is short-chain fatty acids that stop harmful bacteria from growing. They keep the cells in your dog's gut lining tight to prevent leaky gut, they boost the immune system, and they help reduce inflammation. But if your dog has a yeast infection, you'll want to avoid giving any fermented foods because the fermentation can also feed the yeast. Now, we've covered a lot today, so if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment and our team can take a look. But now you know the truth about goat milk. While it isn't nutritionally necessary, there are some pros and cons you need to consider before you share it with your dog. And if you've enjoyed this video, feel free to like it and share it with someone else who you think will too. See you next time.